Hello everybody, I'm Josh Davis and welcome back to the Analytical Line. It's been a few months, the summer off season is languidly going by. We're still a month away from college football taking over our Saturdays, and honestly, the rest of the week too. There's still construction taking place at Beaver Stadium, not yet ready to house the greatest show in college sports. I've just returned to State College, but it's still missing the students, the fans, and the energy of football on the horizon. So before we get enamored in the excitement of what's to come, I'd like to take a moment and look back on the 2024 season of Penn State football and apply some of the things we learned to our upcoming schedule. A 13-3 record, the most wins in a season in Penn State history, the highest finish in James Franklin's career, and the first top 5 finish since 2005. The first Penn State season with 2 postseason victories, and yet it feels hollow. Despite all of those wins, last season was defined by Penn State's losses and the agonizing proximity to perfection. It's been the mantra for years about Penn State that they can make a semifinal but lose to the only 3 teams more successful than them. After an off-season of dominating the college football arms race, fans, coaches, and analysts around the country now share a similar opinion on Penn State. This is the season that James Franklin's entire career could be judged by. If they can't change their big game problems with this group, it's not happening. I feel like I've heard this before. In prior years when our roster and coaching staff were nowhere near as stacked as it is this year, and you have to think that in the current era of college football, this might be the absolute peak level of talent that Penn State could ever accrue. However, I'm getting ahead of myself, because I wanted to talk about last season, when we crushed West Virginia in an overrated, wet, and weird game. We opened up the home slate with a tense game against upset-minded Bowling Green. Then we rebounded with a record-setting 718 yards of offense versus Kent State. Then there was a true whiteout game against Illinois with the A.J. Harris pick 6 sealing the deal. Well, almost pick 6.
Altmaier delivers, intercepted! Picked off by A.J. Harris. He's got a convoy, and Harris to the house. Touchdown, Nittany Lions.
There was the dominant win over UCLA with pancake blocks galore. There was the Tyler Warren game at USC when we came back from down 20-6 at halftime. The very next game was another road test at Wisconsin, where Bo Pribula had to lift the offense in the second half. Then the first loss of the season, with the goal line collapses against Ohio State. Next week was the whiteout versus Washington, maybe the least important whiteout of all time. Then the Lone Easy road conference game at Purdue. Then another road struggle with the fake punt to beat Minnesota. Before the regular season finale against Maryland, fans in Beaver Stadium watched Michigan upset the Buckeyes, sending Penn State to the Big Ten title game, where the defense faltered and turnovers killed them against Oregon. Then there was the first playoff whiteout in a fun game versus SMU. Next was the Fiesta Bowl win over Boise State, where the defense held Ashton Jeanty and the Broncos to 14 points. And finally, there was the Orange Bowl loss to Notre Dame, one of the best games of the season, where one final turnover ended the Nittany Lions season. After taking a few months to reflect on the 2024 season as a whole, I think the obvious thing to say is that Penn State was fortunate to have escaped all of those trap games with wins. I do think that James Franklin has developed as a coach to the point where he is managing games correctly to win, no matter what the circumstances. Those games against USC, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, Franklin outcoached the guys on the opposing sideline, and in Lincoln Riley's case, he gave everyone a masterclass on how to blow a big game. Even in terms of the quarterback play, I love McSorley and Clifford, but I'd be fairly confident in saying that those guys don't escape all 3 of those games unscathed, and certainly they don't move the needle in changing the 3 losses. In those losses, you can blame Allar, you can blame Kotelnicki, Tom Allen, the wide receivers, but I don't think you can just blame James Franklin. He's given up play calling duties to manage games better, and last year he managed games as well as any coach in the country and gave Penn State a chance to win every game on their schedule. So, what moves the needle? Is it an extra year of chemistry between Allar and Kotelnicki? Is it an extra year of development for Drew, or the leadership qualities gained from returning as a senior? Is it 2 NFL running backs behind a Joe Moore-level offensive line? What about off-season additions like a fully revamped receiver room with the best playmakers money can buy, or the best linebacker and safety in the transfer portal? I haven't even mentioned the new coaches, Jim Knowles and Stan Drayton, along with assistants Greg Gattiso and Trace McSorley. I've said that I think the toughest games on Penn State's schedule this year are the big ones on the road, because of the home field advantage in Beaver Stadium being such a strong crutch, and also because of the struggles on the road from last season. Maybe McSorley being a new voice of reason in Drew Allar's ear is exactly what he needs to succeed on the road, and maybe the returning leadership of NFL talent is what the team needs to infiltrate and dominate opponents on the road. Either way, when we go to Columbus on November 1st, and Kinnick Stadium and the Rose Bowl before that, those are the games that will once again define Penn State's season. Yes, the fans will be excited for the home games versus Oregon and Indiana, so will I. But if any lessons can be learned from what we saw last year, it's that we need to improve outside of Beaver Stadium, because that's where the important games are played. For years, teams like Ohio State with more talent have come into Beaver Stadium and won games, but now Penn State is the team with more talent that must go and win games in their houses. College football starts on Saturday, August 23rd, just a month away from when I'm posting this video. Penn State opens the season a week later on August 30th when they host Nevada. You can't wait. I can't wait. We all can't wait for college football to return. But for now, you can keep watching content on the Analytical Lion every week as we get closer to the beginning of the season. Thank you all for watching, and as always, go Nittany Lions.